Let's speak now to Emanuel Pastreich, the director of the Asia Institute in Seoul. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the program today. Now, U.S. intel says there's a high possibility that Pyongyang will be testing a nuclear weapon during President Biden's visit to South Korea. He's there for 3 more days. Do you see that happening?
Well, he's not here for 3 more days. I think that there is a high risk that there will be a nuclear test within the next few days or next week. I think since the United States really is not committed to any form of arms control or non-proliferation, that this will be a serious risk. Not so much that North Korea would use a nuclear weapon against South Korea or the United States, but rather that we're going to set off a nuclear arms race throughout all of Asia, which could bring us into the tens of thousands of nuclear weapons.
Both Biden and Yoon seem adamant in deterring any kind of threat the North imposes. In what way can we see the two countries bolster their defenses to counter regional threats?
Right. Well, that is a large part of the discussion, specifically this extended deterrence, which means more American assets being rotated through Korea, perhaps more nuclear submarines, other deployments in South Korea as part of this, and of course more exercises, more military exercises. I think most objective analysts, however, think that this is more likely, as I suggested before, to cause a regional arms race. And it's certainly unlikely to deter North Korea, which has survived through any number of sanctions and other threats and efforts without changing its policies whatsoever.
Right. And North Korea, as we know, is struggling with the coronavirus now. Case numbers and fatalities continue to increase, and the health system there, as I gather, isn't equipped in tackling the pandemic head on. We did hear from Biden and Yoon that they are willing to help North Korea. But the question is, will Kim Jong-un accept that support?
I think it's quite clear across the board that North Korea's position is that without a negotiation on economic sanctions, that really there will be no exchanges and no negotiations. So there really is only one issue for North Korea at this moment, and that is economic sanctions. And as far as I can tell from the discussion in South Korea and the upcoming visit to Japan, easing of sanctions is not anywhere in the joint statements or in any of the agenda.
All right. The director of the Asia Institute, Emanuel Pastreich, thank you so much for joining us here on Tier 2 World and sharing that insight with us.